Good evening, folks. Welcome to the Gamma build part 2. So I'm going to take you through how I build the back part of the Gamma. That includes the wiring loom and how I put all the plugs on to connect the sensors. So just put a bit of music on, then I'll take you through what I have to do. Right, this is sort of nearly finished. You just grab the plugs put on that end and the sleeving. So basically this is built up of several units. So that's the back plate. That's been machined on my little CNC machine and 3 holes put in. Then this is the inside part that holds the bracket on. So normally that goes on first into the back of there, like so. Then we have these couple of brackets made. They're done with a CNC press and cut. A couple of inserts put in. Then these get powder coated then. So this one fits onto here, like so, and then just got some M4 screws, spring washer and a normal washer. Anyway, I hope you've all had a good day and you've enjoyed getting up on a Monday morning. But you know what my motto is? If you don't enjoy getting out of bed of a Monday morning, change your job. Trust me. So that's that on. That's the bracket on that bit now. Then I use these cable glands then, which go in from the back like that, and the locking nut is put on. I do have a box spanner to tighten these, but I'm not going to tighten it up now, just to show you. So that's on, and basically we have these cables made by a company in Leicester. We did try to keep everything built in the UK with the Gammas, but that's impossible. So we have these leads made by a company in Leicester, and they put these little connectors on there and a different type on this end here. So you know, we buy them in, we have normally 50 at a time made, and basically this would feed through here like that, and then I have to put the plugs on these. So that's basically the back part, and there's another little U bracket that goes on. I'll just put that on so you can see it. You know, I'm just showing you all this process just to show you what's involved in actually making a Gamma. Most people will just look at it as a simple oval object and not realise what's involved in making one. So that's the back bracket on, and obviously you can mount this in various places. The most common place is on top of a toolbox. I've got mine mounted on my coast to coast screen, which is great because you've got some covering, and you know, you've got a nice dark area where you can see the screen. And I'll supply 2 fixing bolts with these. That's how you can fix it permanent, or you can put 1 bolt in the middle here that allows you to rotate it then, so you've got tilt and rotate. So basically that's the you know, the bracket system. And I'm going to show you now. I'll just move those. This is one what's obviously been assembled. I've put these small plugs on. They go into 2 sockets onto the gamma motherboard. So I've done them already. But I'm just going to show you what's involved with putting these plugs on. I'll basically feed some heat shrink over there first. Put it the way. Now, what we've got 4 plugs we put on the back. There's 3 2-pin type and 1 6-pin. These are what I call JST connectors, and they are meant to be waterproof. All the back's got silicon, like a silicon gel thing on it, and then these will obviously push together with the plugs. I'll just show you what's involved. So, as people who know who've got the gammas, it's all colour coded for the sensors. So we use red for the cylinder head temperature sensor. So I'm just going to look at my drawing now, grey yellow, and this is what I have to do. So these 2 wires are for the cylinder head temperature sensor. So put the heat shrink on first. Then this is for a 2-way plug, and these have to be the correct way around because they are, you know, it's a polarised sensor, so it has to have a plus and a minus, or positive and negative. So I'm going to put this in, look at my drawing, which you probably can't see. You know, I don't want to give too much away, you know, so that one goes into there. And these just pushing, and you can hear them click when they get in, like so. Next one. What I have to do sometimes is I have to use a pair of tweezers just to grab the wire to click it in. That's in, that's done. So that's the cylinder temperature sensor connector. Now I shall put in the exhaust gas sensor, so on blue and pink. Right, so I'll feed them in. That's them 2 in. I'll just put the plug on the socket on that. So pink to the right. Again, these are polarised. I can normally get the first one in without using the tweezers. Just gets a bit awkward now when there's 2 wires in. That's it. Okay, I heard that click, so I know it's in. Then we've got the blue one next, which is a speed sensor. So blue is white and brown. I mean, technically these can go either way around, it's just a switch contact it is, but I like to put them in so they're all the same. We've got a selection of music tonight from the 70s, starting from about 74 on the jukebox, going right up to 79, then there's a few glam rock tracks at the end. That's if we're still here. Oh shit, this is what I mean now. I forgot to put the sleeving on. That's because I'm rabbiting away, but I can get these pins out, so I'll leave that one. I can do that later. I can get them pins out. What I'll do now is I'll put the bigger one on with 6 wires. Look, yeah, and that needs to have the black sleeving. So I'm going to feed these 6 wires, fit the heat shrink on first. See, it's so simple to drop a clanger when you're gassing away. I've done it many times. I forgot to put the heat shrink on, and then I've got to take all the pins out, and It's a right ball ache. If you buy the proper tool to take these out, it's about 50 quid. But I can get them out with a pin. Right, so we've got the big one now, which has got 6 wires in. So one purple and green at the top, so I'll just put these two in first, purple and green. That's one in. That's right, that's the two in the top. Now the bottom ones are red, black. Gotta be fiddly sometimes, these are. That's that one in. The black in. Red and blue. That's that one in. Grey and pink. I'll explain what these wires are for later. This plug here, it's for the power connection. It's for the rev counter signal, and then we've got 2 wires on for the relay output. It'd be interesting to know what people are using the relay output for. I'll tell you what, I'm going to try and get that pin out right on my mind, and then I can show it you complete. Now this is a tricky thing to do, this is. I have to use my little eyeglass if I can find it. So let me have a look at this. Right. No, it's not going to come. I'm not going to mess about too long here. I'll do that later. So anyway, so I've got basically the before plugs on there with the colours on, and then what I'd do, I'd heat shrink them, put some heat on them, and then I'd pull this up then. Once them are heat shrinked, like so, then they'd be all heat shrinked on then, and then you would have, you know, all the plugs on ready. So you'd have black for the main loom, yellow for your exhaust gas sensor, red for the cylinder head temperature, then you'd have blue for the speed sensor. So that's basically that back part done. And then what's involved next is obviously to fit the screen, and I did finish those screens last night. Them 3 that I said was for people have been shipped out today. Well, 2 of them have. Andy Bass's is still there. So there's another 2, 3, there's another 4 from I did 7. So what goes on next then is the screen gets fitted to the motherboard. Now we get these motherboards made in China. There's nobody in the UK that can make these. Originally when we started doing these, and I think it's 2014, we supposedly sent them to a company in Leicester. We said, look, we want everything manufactured in the UK if possible. So we sent all the designs to a company in Leicester, and they was going to source the components and put everything on. And we had, I think, 50 boards done initially. And then when they came back, we found out that they'd sent them to China to be done. There was some paperwork still left in with the with the order, and it tracked back to China. So we thought, stuff this, rather than pay somebody in the UK to send our stuff to China to be done, we'll do it ourselves direct. So we have a buyer, well not a buyer as such, we have a person in China who we contact, and she speaks very good English, and if we want something doing, we just send her an email and say, can you get this done? And she obviously speaks the lingo, so she gets things done for us, and she'll charge us a commission. And we've used her now for the last 6 years. So anyway, that's the board completed, and then when it comes I have to program the microcontroller. I have to put the programming pod on this connection here and download the software from whatever model you want. And the most common one is the RTSE1000. So this board was programmed on the 9th month of 2019. It just lets me know when I've programmed the board. So if you do have to fit a screen, this is obviously a good chance to look how to fit a screen. So you take the gamma apart, and then you'd unplug these two plugs from the motherboard, and then you would be left then, I'll just assemble these first. So that goes in there, and then what you have to do, so I'm looking for my other tweezers that are better than these ones. Yeah, I've got some flat tweezers, and to feed the screen on, you've got to make sure these 2 clips are open, but don't force them open very hard because you'll pop them out. And then what you've got to do, you've got to fold the ribbon cable, and you have to feed that into this socket here, and you've got to make sure it's pushed right in. You can soon tell, you'll see all the gold gone from the connectors, so that's pushed right in now. And then you just clip the 2 clips on the holder. My nails are not very long, so I'll have to use these tweezers. So that's clicked down now, that is, and that one's down. So then what I'll normally do, when I do the final assembly, I'll put a bit of hot glue on these connectors here, on these, save them from coming open, and I'll normally put some hot glue on the crystal, these 2 capacitors and this one inductor here. Put some hot glue because the vibration can make these come off. We didn't originally put any glue in here until we had one come back from a lady who races scooters, and it's come back and these had vibrated off. So since then we started putting hot glue on the crystal, these 2 capacitors here and that inductor, and then I'll only put a bit of hot glue on this big capacitor here. So that's this part complete. And then normally you just connect these 2 plugs. Obviously I give you the information of what colour wire plugs fit on where, and they just plug into, I'll plug them in and I'll show you. By the way, here's a bit of music trivia for you. This record being played, it's by Candy Staton, Young Heart Run Free. And a lot of people don't know the story behind this song. Well, Candy Staton, she used to live with Jimmy James, in from Jimmy James and the Vagabonds. And what this record's about is, he used to beat her up, Jimmy James did. And then when she left him, this was the record she made about her experience with Jimmy James. And if you listen to the lyrics, that's what the song's about. So I thought I'd just throw that in while it was on. Right, so okay, so I'll put the two plugs in now. This is basically the air sensors. This is the power, the RPM signal, and other functions. And if you look at the board here, all these components, there's enough components in here so we can run 2 cylinder temperature sensors. And then there's some more components which are for the exhaust gas sensor. And if you look at this top part here, there's no components on there, because we was going to build a module what I've got 2 cylinder temperature sensors on and 2 exhaust gas sensors, but we never got round to finishing it, and it never will get finished. So we don't have these components put on for the second exhaust gas sensor. And although we don't really sell many of the twin cylinder versions, for what it costs, we have the components put on anyway, so it's on. So if anybody wants their gamut upgrade into a twin cylinder one, all I have to do is reflash the software. So that's that. And then I also put 2 rubber seals on here, one round there and one round there, and that just cushions the display. Then when this is all together, then it gets put together. And then what I do is I put an O-ring round the outside to try and make it fully waterproof. So that would be the completed unit then, which will look like this is the one for Andy Vass I did last night, and because he made a right mess of all his wiring, I put him a new back part on with a new loom on. So that's basically what's involved in building, the back part. Time wise, it probably takes 15-20 minutes. And then obviously once that part's done, then all this is done, then I have to obviously add the sensors on and do all the full testing. So I think in the next video, what I'll do is I'll connect the system up, show you how to plug the sensors in, and then we'll go through a more in-depth how to get the best out of this, how to set it up, how to use the relay function. I know I've showed this before on Facebook, but trouble with Facebook is you've not got a permanent reference. Although it's there, you've got to search for it to find it. So I'm going to do one for YouTube, where it's always going to be there on my YouTube channel. So that's about it for tonight. I hope you enjoy what you've seen, and you can see I drop clangers. But once I'm off camera, I'll get that wire out. There's a knack to just getting this little tab to come up to pull this wire out, and then redo that, and that'll be as good as new then. So there's no secrets here. Don't hide nothing. It happens. Shit happens, but it gets corrected. So I'd like to say thank you very much. Thanks for watching. Oh, you're going to miss a cracking song now. Music, John Miles. What a classic. Absolutely fantastic. One of my best mates who died just over 10 years ago, this was his favourite song. So, it's this song, one of my all-time favourites. I'd like to say thank you very much and see you all soon.